So a bit of history on I guess DW Fitness. You know, what bit of background, I guess, for people who don't know too much about the business.
Yeah.
So how did they start?
Okay.
What was the early days of them?
JJB gyms, obviously health clubs when Dave had the retail stores.
Right.
1998, first one in Warrington. He'd started obviously then, you know, opening health clubs, gyms.
Yeah.
And then in 2009, Dave had been out since 2007, sold all his shares.
Right.
We had the opportunity to buy the health club side back.
Right.
And at the time, we only wanted to buy the health clubs. As you know, we've got health clubs and retail stores above.
Right.
We would have liked to have only bought the health clubs, but with the leases that the health clubs were attached to the retail stores, we just couldn't break them up.
Right.
And the demise of JJB, unfortunately, just didn't give us enough time to reach out to landlords. So we ended up doing a deal to buy the 53 health clubs.
Right.
And with that, we took 51 retail stores too.
Right.
And in the early years, obviously, you know, like the main priority was always the health clubs. But as time's gone by, obviously now we started, you know, retail's getting better. We've obviously changed the formulas that we had, but maybe a bit unfair.
Yeah.
And we've got that right now. And then obviously we've decided, you know, driving the business, driving both sides, and now bringing the two of them together more and more closer now, you know.
Right. So just on that story. So Dave originally then would. What was the JJB story?
I mean, Dave built 450 retail stores.
Right. Okay.
At the time, you know, was the biggest sports retailer in the country.
Right.
And as I say, I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm not too sure actually why he opened the first club, but he just thought, you know, health clubs were obviously going to be the next move.
Okay.
You know, obviously built them on the back of the JJB brand.
Right. And they were called JJB.
JJB gyms. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Or JJB health clubs. You know?
Right.
And so basically started that.
Okay.
Obviously then realised that, you know, he was onto something here. We opened in the first 10 clubs. I would say 7, 8 of them were really successful.
Right.
So obviously then he started rolling out, and between 2003, 2007, if you like, before obviously, you know, they had like a real big expansion plan. They got to 53 health clubs.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, so and that was the lucrative part of JJB really at the time. The gyms were very, very lucrative, making good money.
Right.
And that was obviously always the part of it, if you like, that he would have liked back.
Okay.
So he bought the health clubs back. We were working together in workwear,
yeah.
And then obviously he asked me to head up the health clubs.
And with the and when they and when the sort of business sold, then so he in some of the locations, I believe the clubs are on the top and the retail was on the bottom. So, I mean, so did another company own the retail?
No, right. It was all bit, and that was really the problem. Really, I mean, you know, in hindsight, would we have took the retail stores? No, you know, but because we couldn't split the units really. The 53 health clubs, you know, there was two health clubs that didn't have stores, right. Trafford and Middlesbrough. We had to take it as a solid unit because basically you've got an escalator in our reception basically that takes you up to the first floor where the retail store is.
Right.
So the health clubs are usually on the ground floor. We've got a few that's mixed, but usually on the ground floor because the swimming pool will be sunk in the ground, and then retail stores on first floor.
Right. Okay. And when did the name change then from JJB to
right away? Because JJB was still trading.
Right. Okay.
So JJB was trading still, and I think they. You know, it was 2011 maybe when unfortunately went into administration.
Right.
So we had 2 years of obviously JJB running alongside us.
Yeah.
But as I say, our main priority was the health clubs.
Yeah.
And then we built it to 71. We then bought 7 old LA Fitness clubs off Pure Gym after the acquisition of LA Fitness Club, LA Fitness by Pure Gym. Bought the 7 sites there, and we were up to 78.
Right.
And then obviously, you know, I'd say a year had passed, 2 years had passed when we started looking at Fitness First.
Yeah.